Okay, welcome to the webinar, everybody. It's a beautiful Thursday in Pennsylvania. We're going to talk about our best trading setups today, testing, all sorts of exciting and fun things, but I really want to show you a whole bunch of trades today in getting ready for next week's Black Friday Spectacular. All right, my name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-Minute Trades. And I've been thinking about why anybody should even listen to anything I have to say. So I figure I'll give you a little bit of backstory about me. I've been trading futures probably for about 15 years at least, and I've been with 10-Minute Trades for almost 10 years. And that's a long time to be with the same company. And I'm not bragging, but I know a lot about appointment-based trading. I know a lot about news trading, and I know a lot about software that can help you to trade the way that we trade. And a lot of things that I wanted to cover today are letting people know things about us that they don't know. But I've been trading for 15 years. I got started helping my family trade their accounts. I was helping my mom trade her retirement accounts, Apple, and all sorts of the usual. And I got hooked on trading. And it's been a very long-term learning process for me. I got hooked on news almost immediately, and I've been trading news for more than 10 years. Please remember that all the trades I discuss are for educational purposes. It's possible to lose money trading futures. Please trade carefully. And just as a reminder, we use a methodology called appointment-based trading. We trade using the Ninja Trader platform, and we trade futures. So we have all sorts of ways that we trade earnings, but ultimately we're trading futures on those earnings, okay? So keep that in mind, it's very important. We have a system of 10-minute trades, and that's very, very important. Over the years, I realized that you can't just trade randomly. You don't want to just throw trades on and expect a good result because it doesn't work that way. You need to have a system. You need to have reasons why you do things. You need to control your risk. And that means you have to have elements that make up a viable system. And that's what we have at 10-Minute Trades. We've got our JOBB News Trader software. we have 3 strategies that install into the software, and I'll show you that in a minute. We have 4 major elements that make up our whole system. We have a weekly schedule that we send out to our members. It's free, and it has all the events that we feel are going to move the markets in the upcoming week. And that's very important, even if you're not a news trader. If you keep an eye on our schedule, keep it by your desk, you'll know when to be careful if you're in the market. You don't want to be in the market trading when the oil report is being released unless you know it's being released and you have a plan to trade the oil storage report. So our daily schedule is a really good tool. It's free. All you have to do is go to our website, www.10minutetrades.com, opt in for the free video, how to find your own 10-minute trades, and it'll sign you up for our weekly schedule. We also have daily market movers. Those are our daily trade reports. Our 3rd element, of course, is trade room access. And then the 4th element is all of our various software strategies. And they are the key to everything that we do. The trade room and the software, obviously, that's how you can really do well as a member at 10-Minute Trades. The weekly schedule shows you when we're going to be in our trade room. It shows when the room is going to open. It shows, of course, the events we're going to trade. We call them trade triggers. It shows a little bit of risk and the instrument we're thinking of trading. And it has a few notes on the event. And that's the weekly schedule. It's free, like I said. The daily market mover reports are daily trade reports. These are reports that the day before an event comes out, the day before, we send to our members a report that explains how we're thinking about trading the event. and it's a guide. Then when we get to our trade room, we go over the report, we discuss the report, we look at the event that we're going to trade, and we figure out if our setup is the best possible setup. There might be something going on that day in the news that might make us change slightly the way that we change the trading on the report. And that's why the trade room is so important, because the trade room keeps you 100% current based on what the daily market is doing that day. The DMM is our daily market mover trade. I call them trade action reports, and they help you to figure out how to trade the day before the event takes place. And then, of course, we have our software. And our software is three separate strategies. We've got a news trader suite, we've got a trap trade strategy, and a magnet trade strategy. All three of those strategies install into NinjaTrader literally in a minute or two, and they become a part of the NinjaTrader platform. Our software is a custom strategy add-on. Multiple setups are included in the strategy, and it can automate your trade entries, targets, and stops, or, and most people don't realize this, but you can use our software whether you're a member of our service or not. It has all sorts of discretionary trading tools, all sorts of ways that you could trade any kind of market movement, especially using futures. It's geared towards futures, but you absolutely do not have to be a member of 10-minute trades to use our software. We do sell our software and have subscriptions to our software. So that's something that many people don't realize. Of course, we believe our software is a fantastic tool to use for trading the appointment-based trading method, which is a fancy way of saying we trade the news on a schedule. We set up a schedule. You've seen the schedule. It comes out every Sunday. We know in advance when and how we're going to trade, and we make an appointment with the market, and that is the basic concept of the way we do things. Our software is also what we call a super ATM program. It's an automated trade manager. So when you're entered into a trade, it helps you manage the trade. Put your stops and targets on the chart. It can move the stop. It could trail the stops. It's just a system that's not hard to learn that helps you to manage your trades. If you're not lucky that day and your trade explodes and hits all of its targets in 1 second and takes you out of the trade. And that happens a lot. Very often we'll take a trade, the trade will be over before you have time to even manage it. Let me show you a couple of quick trades, because today I wanted to show a bunch of trades and just get people excited about all the different methods we have for trading the market. We have market open trades. Let me show you something. So looking at the NinjaTrader platform, this is today's market. I'm not looking, I don't like natural gas this time of day. So we're looking at the MNQ and gold, all right, right now. The markets have been very bullish today. Now I see the NQ is down and I see gold is down. So it's incredible. 3 hours ago, the markets were bullish. Now they're looking a little bit bearish, but that's the volatility we've been dealing with in the markets. This morning, the markets were extremely positive. They were very positive. They were extremely positive after NVIDIA's earnings. We have software setups that help us to navigate this volatility, that helps us to trade whatever the market conditions are. And we have quite a few different setups. When you look at the NinjaTrader platform, it's very easy to call up our software. You just right click on a chart, and then there's the word strategy, and you click on the word strategy, and then right on the left, the top 3 elements, JOBB trap trade, that's one of our reversal type strategies. The magnet strategy, that's a brand new strategy that we're working on, a brand new update that's going to be out for the holidays. And then we have our news trader suite. The News Trader suite at the top has a variety of different setups. That's what I was saying before. It has different setups. Built into the News Trader, our three most popular setups are the breakout trade, the range trade, and the reversal continuation. Those are all very easy to learn, very easy to put on the chart, strategies that we use virtually every day in our trade room. And I wanted to show you a breakout strategy. I just wanted to show you a variety of different strategies that our members are taking. First off, we have market open trades. So that's a very interesting type of strategy and a setup that we have. And for the past 2 weeks, we've been testing the oil market open. Most people think that when a market opens, it means 9:30 Eastern time and it's the US market. But there are many markets that open at different times of the day and they offer different opportunities. For instance, you could trade the market open at 6 p.m., the evening before, the futures close between 5 and 6 p.m. every day, Eastern time, and then they reopen at 6 p.m., and that's considered a market open. And that's an interesting time to place trades. Then you have the normal US Open, which we're doing every day in our trade room. And we have a brand new oil market open that we've been testing in our trade room. This morning, we traded that oil market open, and it uses a setup that we call a range trade. And a range trade is a setup we use on many different types of events. We use it on earnings, we use it on the oil market open, and basically what a range trade does, it allows you to study an event and look at it over a time period. So maybe you'll look at a range that you create that maybe the range lasts a minute and a half. So our software creates this range. It actually draws the range on the chart, and you can see it drawing this beautiful oil range before we get into the trade. So the software has a feature where it calculates the range based on the starting time and the end time. So for instance, maybe we'll start at 9 o'clock and then 40 seconds later, our range will end. So we'll have a 40-second range. The internal lines show you the range, it draws on the chart. And then there's these little lines above the range and below. Those are the actual orders. So what happens is, as the time passes, the range changes in size. Because of course, what's going to happen is price is going to move up and down. When we studied the oil open market, we realized that if we used a certain length of range, we could put orders in when that range ends, and we would have, if our testing was good, a lot of very positive oil trades. We've been testing this market open range trade for 2 weeks, and we've only had one losing day on this trade. This morning, you'll see what happened. 9 o'clock, the oil market opens. 40 seconds after the market opens, we put our orders on the chart. And then this morning, it was very quiet. I actually was thinking of canceling the trade. It was so quiet. But then oil started to move a little bit, and I let the trade fill. And watch what happens. It's going to take a second here. Those X's are my orders. The order got pierced and oil filled me on the long side. Our software automatically puts our targets on the chart. 2 targets. One of the targets is near the high of the day. We are huge about testing highs and lows of the day. They get tested all day long. We have a whole strategy called the magnet strategy that's based around testing levels. I'm going to get into that. But oil this morning was bullish. We have certain tools that we look at and teach our members to watch to try to determine the direction we think the market will go. Very often we get that market right. This morning, oil, it chopped a little bit, but mostly after it filled, it started moving up right towards our target. It hits our first target, and my stop moves above my entry. So I'm profitable and cannot lose on this trade now. It hit my first target. I was $80 profitable, and now my goal is to trail as the price keeps moving towards target number 2. The point of it is not that we had a winning trade and made almost $200 this morning on the oil setup. That's not the point. The point is we went back in time and we studied the oil open and we looked at ranges of time and we came up with a setup based upon a short range of time, and that setup has been working really, really well. So we're excited about that. And that's one type of trade that we take. And there will be a replay of this, Russell, so you don't have to worry, we'll send it out. The oil market open is one of the opens that we trade every single day in our trade room. It's very easy to do. We can teach any one of our members that has our software can learn how to do that trade in about 10 minutes. That's how easy it is. It's simple to put it on the charts and it's very easy to manage it. Another type of market open trade that we're doing in the morning is the NQ, the YM, some of the indexes. MNQ is what I've been trading. I'm working on a funded account in Bullinox, and we traded the market open this morning. I love days when there's a big report like the jobs report this morning. And full transparency, we had a horrible jobs report this morning. People lost money on the jobs report. But if they stayed with us in the trade room, we kept winning, winning, and winning on almost every single trade we took after the jobs report. And most of our members wound up positive today, even though they had an initial bad trade. And that's very important in terms of psychology. If you have a bad trade, you want to try and have good psychology that allows you to keep trading, because for us, we're not randomly trading. Remember that. We have specific setups, specific events that we're trading. And if you have a losing trade to start the day, and now you have 4 really good performing trades lined up for the rest of the day, you should trade those reports. You should trade those events because they're going to help you get back to positive. And that's the psychology we try to teach in our trade room. We know that many people trade, well, if you have a bad trade and you lost X amount of dollars, you should stop trading immediately. We don't follow that rule because of what I just said. You might have a trade that goes bad, and then you might have 4 really good ones in a row because the testing and their performance has shown you that those trades are going to be good. And that's exactly what happened today. We kept trading. We traded the market open on oil and we made a couple of $100. We traded the market open with the MNQ. And many members are also trading those market opens with silver, which is unique and new for all of us. We're looking at silver. It's a pretty high risk trade, but it's interesting. And we are trading the YM every day as well. This morning, we traded the YM. We looked at the YM and we noticed it was bullish all morning, and it was very bullish after the jobs report. So we have a setup we call the magnet trade, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the magnet, but I've had webinars every week covering the magnet trade. All you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, just search 10-minute trades, go to our YouTube channel. All of our webinars are free and open to watch up on YouTube. You can learn really specifically what the magnet trade is. But simply, we noticed on the YM, and we love magnet trades on the open, the YM looked like it was going to test the high of the day, and we put the magnet trade on. Even though it was before the open, we had the trade set up. It looked like it was going to fill way before the open, but then the market sold off. You could see it, it's selling off here. And we were able to put the trade back on, and here it comes. And we put it in automatic mode. So if it pierces our heavy line, then we would get filled and we would have a profitable trade. And the market this morning, it pulled back, allowed us to put our magnet trade on. Price burst to the high of the day, which is what we were testing, and we had a profitable YM magnet trade before the market opened. And that happens quite a bit, where one of the instruments that we're trading on the open will actually start to move before the open. And sometimes, if the opportunity is there, we'll take it a little bit early, because it often is a good opportunity. The point is, we have a setup called the magnet setup. Magnets are areas on the chart that attract price, because so many people look at the same areas and put their orders around those areas. That creates an attraction in price. Highs of days, lows of days are great magnets. We trade them all the time. And that's what happened on the YM. We made another $100 in about 5 seconds on the YM magnet trade. Then on this chart on the left, we put on our MNQ market open trade. And the last couple of days, we got stopped on the MNQ. First time in really quite a while. It's been very, very positive trading the MNQ on the open. And then this morning, especially after a big news report like the jobs report, there's usually an exploding open. It happens a lot. This morning, you'll see our software puts our orders on the chart right there. The price, it burst up, filled both our orders for an instant, literally an instant winning trade on the MNQ. So what's the point here? The point is, what are some of the different setups that we trade? Market opens are really important to everything we do at 10-minute trades. We also have an end of the day trade. We don't do those every day, but if we're meeting in the trade room, usually to trade earnings, which is around the market close, we will trade the end of the day. And we have a very specific setup. We study the market behavior at the end of the day, and we have a setup that we teach our members for our end of the day trade. And those have been very successful over the past 2 or 3 months as well. Then we got into another trade this morning, and today was a very interesting day because we had a breakout that didn't work on the jobs report. And what's a breakout? So let me show you a breakout. We had a fantastic Home Depot trade this week. A lot of people know that we trade earnings. We have a whole earnings system that we trade. We teach you to use futures to trade earnings. Well, Home Depot has been one of our absolute favorite earnings trades. We get up early. We're in the trade room at 5:30 in the morning, ready for Home Depot. And Home Depot, we put our orders on the chart. Watch what happens. The market starts to move. We're trading the YM futures. We have a breakout. That means our software puts an order above the price and below the price. Home Depot earnings came out. You could see that red line exploding down. That's the candle, the price of the YM going through the floor because Home Depot's earnings were lousy. It pulled us into the market. Then it gave us the opportunity to trail our stop more and more profit as we kept moving our stop. We brought our target, made our target bigger. We were able to keep trailing. It was an absolutely phenomenal earnings trade, almost $500 on Home Depot. And we teach this setup. We've been trading Home Depot for years in our trade room, and many of our members made money on that trade. Calvin, down in Texas, it's a little bit hard to see his profit, $370 on his Home Depot trade. A very nice trade. And then Roz from Kenya, who is doing very nicely on her earnings trades, $530 trading the YM Home Depot in Kenya. You know how hard it is to trade in Kenya? It's not easy. And then one of our really interesting traders who's trading some silver, and teaching us a lot of things about trading. And that's the beauty of being in a fantastic community. We all learn from each other. Well, Nitin was trading the micro YM. He made over $100 on that on Home Depot. And he was trading the YM and made almost $500 on that. Very often, many members in the trade room are making seriously good money on earnings because we have great setups. Even a very difficult trade yesterday on NVIDIA. NVIDIA did a very quick burst yesterday and a reversal. Quick burst, quick reversal. We made like 175 bucks on it because it was such a quick reversal, but we teach concepts that our members are using and learning from. And that's the most important thing about everything that we do. Our members are learning and doing even better than I'm doing. One of our members, Ray, made over $1,500 trading NVIDIA yesterday, using a lot of the concepts that we've been teaching in our trade room. And that's the major point of what I'm trying to get across today. We teach concepts in our trade room that anybody can use. You don't have to do everything exactly the way I do it. There's a lot of room for intelligent discussion, intelligent choice. Yes, we do have specific setups, many of them, but there are many opportunities to trade discretionary, and lots of people don't want to be tied into just being told what to do. And I'm a firm believer in not just telling you what to do, but in teaching you how to use the various software and systems so you can come up with your best trades. And that is vital and very important to what we do. So that was a fantastic trade from Ray, over $1,500. So let's go back into the slides for a minute. I wanted to just show you, real easy to call up our software. Just click the word strategy. We have the breakout trade, range trade, reversal continuation trades, and you just click on them, enter some numbers into the software, and a trade gets set up. It's really quite simple to do. All right, let's go quickly back to the slides. So as a reminder, our software is an add-on to the NinjaTrader platform. Our appointment-based trading system, it's simple. It's a time-based approach to the market. You schedule your trades generally up to a week in advance. That's the way that we do it. All trading has risk. Trading news is no riskier than other forms of trading. We've been doing it for 10 years. As long as you have a system, software, risk management, people say, oh, you can't trade the news because slippage will kill you. But there's something called positive slippage that most people don't even understand. They just look at the negative. Yes, there are some times when you'll take a trade and slippage damages the trade. But there are many times when you'll take a trade where slippage is positive and gives you more money than what you expected because you're moving in the right direction. The market takes a few seconds to get you out of your trade, so your target is bigger than what you thought. Happens all the time. Just like bad slippage happens. They both happen and they wash each other out. We look at 3 types of categories for finding our trades. We have high impact economic reports, GDP, jobs reports, big company earnings reports, market opens and closes. How do we pick our trades? And I wanted to give a very quick lesson on how to use the most important tool today to figure out how to test your trades. So one of the things that we do, there's 2 major things that we do to test trades. The first thing that I used to do all the time and only did it until I learned better is something called market replay. To turn market replay on, and this is going to be a quick market replay lesson. We've got webinars, so remember, you can go to YouTube to the 10-Minute Trades channel and find easy webinars on how to do market replay. So this is just a quick refresh. Now, NinjaTrader calls it market playback, and that's fine. We call it replay. You disconnect all your connections, and just connect the playback machine. And then just press continue. That's all it is. And then you're faced with a little control panel. All right, there's a little control panel that controls the playback. But there's one thing you have to do before you connect to that control panel, and you want to download data. So if you want to replay a trade, if you want to test a trade, one of the most important things you can do is download the data from the day that event took place. So let's say you want to replay this morning's job report, and you want to see how well it would have done on the NQ. So you go to Tools, you go to, bear with me, am I in the wrong place? Hold on, you go to Tools. Give me half a second. I'm having a brain dead moment here. Historical data, forgive me. And when you pull up that historical data, you choose market replay data. You're going to put the date on today, it's the 20th, and we're going to download the MNQ, or let's download the NQ. So you just look for the future in your folder where you've stored your instruments that you're trading. NQ 1225 is the contract we're downloading. Press download, and I've now downloaded today's data for the NQ. One of the most important things that we do is test trades. So you got to make sure your chart is on NQ 1225, bingo. All right, and I'll put both charts on NQ 1225. And then you're going to test your trade. You're going to test, hang on one second. You're going to test your trade from this morning. So we've downloaded the data. Now we're going to reconnect our playback. It's very simple. Press continue. We get our control panel back. Now, if you ever load a chart and there's no price on it, just press the F button and it'll put the price on the chart. Okay, so now we have to go back in time to 9:30 this morning. We downloaded the NQ data. We're going to replay the trade. We have a setup for trading the NQ on the jobs report. And I'm going to download that data and replay it. I'm going to use that data. So I'm going to right click, click on the word strategy, and I'm going to set up my software for a quick breakout trade on the jobs report. That report took place at 8:30 this morning. So I'm going to trigger my software at 8:29 and 59 seconds, okay? 8:29:59. I'm going to use an 80 bracket on the NQ, and I'm going to trade two contracts. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. That just means I have one contract for each position. I've got two positions. I'm going to use a 30 tick target for target 1, an 80 tick target for target 2, and I'm going to use an 80 tick stop, because we know on the jobs report you better use a big stop because there could be a lot of volatility on this event. So I've just created a setup to create a trade, to take a trade. I'm going to just scroll down. I like to label all my trades, so I'm going to call that NQ Breakout, BRK. I'm trading it in my playback account so you can all see it. I'm going to apply it and okay it. And I'm going to click the little enable button here so that we can replay this trade. I'm going to use this playback tape recorder to put it on today's date. Today is the 20th, okay? So both boxes go 11:20. And if you get an error that says, hey, do the other side, just start on the other side. Every now and then the software will tell you you're doing it slightly wrong. No problem, just do your right box first, then your left box. In this blank space, you right click the chart, go to becomes active in about a couple of seconds. Once go to becomes active, I type in the time about 10 seconds before the news is released. So the news was released at 8:30, so I'm going to type in 8:29:50 and make sure I'm on AM. All right, make sure I can see my price. See the prices, okay, on my charts so you can see the behavior. My trade is checked. I'm going to actually replay time. I'm going to replay time. Now, there is a little bug in Ninja where sometimes when you start the playback, it resets your time to 0 or to noon. If that happens, just type in 8:29:50 one more time. It does not do it every time. It does it sometimes the first time you run the playback. So now I've got the time back to where I want it. My chart thinks it's 8:30 in the morning, a couple of seconds before. My trade is ready to go, and I can test what happened in this morning's jobs report using the NQ. I can download gold. I could download bonds. I could look at a variety of different instruments and test what would have happened to them on this report. Look at the price action that the NQ had on this trade. The price exploded up, and it looks like it was so fast this morning. It was really, really violently fast. That's something you want to know. Sometimes you'll do a replay and it'll be so fast, it's hard to tell what happened. You have to do it again and look at it again. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at it one more time. I'm going to put the time back in, 8:29. I'm going to put the time in at 50. And I'm actually going to make a slight change to the software to see if it helps me to see the result a little bit better. It was very, very fast, and it was hard to tell what happened. So I'm going to disable my trade and put my order on the chart a little bit sooner than the way I had it in this setup. So let me find my setup. Here's my trade, 8:29 instead of 59 seconds, 8:29:57. I'm going to put my order on the chart. Run the trade again. Now I'm trading on this chart over here. Press play. We have 10 seconds before the trade takes place. Replay is going back in time, testing trades that you traded or never traded and want to see how they did. So you could see that this trade did not work that well on that setting on the NQ. That tells you you've got to come up with a different setting, or it tells you maybe just that 1 month was bad. This is the way you test trades. You go through the data, you test and do replay. Now, there's a second very important methodology for testing trades. After you've done playback, there's other methods of testing, and there's something that we use called the ruler, and I'll show you. You click on the pencil and the ruler. Then you could highlight the candle that was the trade candle, the candle at the exact moment of the event. It shows you how many ticks that event exploded. How many ticks did it move? The NQ moved a tremendous amount of ticks, 187. So we know what type of trade to look at when we have that much movement. For instance, let me try and make this simple and not be too complicated. Some of the trades that we have, we expect a reversal. Some of the trades that we have, we do better when they go in one direction, and we get our profit as it goes in one direction. If it reverses, it takes us out of the trade. When you study these events and how they move, that allows us to take the trade and put the correct setup on that event. The jobs report generally is a breakout, meaning most of the time when it trades, we make our money when the instrument we're trading moves in one direction. There's another type of trade that we wanted to show you. It's called a trap trade. Let me show you what happened today. After we were almost done trading, we had another event called existing homes. Existing homes is a trap trade for us. What that means is we expect the market to go in one direction, and we're going to sell the market if it goes up, or we're going to buy the market if it goes down. We're expecting a reversal on this news. And we're pretty sure we're going to get it because we've studied this news. Remember, we're studying these events. We're going back in time. We're looking at the pencil and the ruler. We're looking to see what kind of movement this event had. And this existing home event has a report that we create called a spike report. Every month, it shows how many ticks it spiked on the news and how much it reversed after the news took place. That spike was over. We know by looking at our spike report that existing homes is most probably going to reverse. So when we traded it today, we have a special setup called the trap trade. We show our members how to put the orders in, and our expectation is this trade is going to put us in the market in the opposite direction that the trade moved, and we're going to make our money when it changes direction. Now, we were trading gold on this trade. Gold is really tough to trade these days. It's very volatile after news is released. Our orders went on the chart. We spread our chart apart so we could manage the trade properly. Existing homes, the news comes out, and you could see gold is chopping around. I was actually thinking of canceling the trade, and I was talking and teaching, and I left the trade on. It filled us to the long side. The price shoots down, and we're going to get filled long. Then we're expecting to make our money when the trade goes long. Right now, it's going short. It goes short right there, fills me to the long side, and now I make my money if our analysis is correct and price moves up. And that's exactly what happened. It exploded through my first order. It went through my second order, and we made over $400 on that trade because it went down first and filled me long, and then it reversed and went long, and we got our profit based on that behavior. And there it is going long. It's going to go through all my orders, over $400 on that trade. We wound up with over $800 in profits today after the jobs report. It wound up being a great day. The key is to use these tools, the ruler, playback, to find the best of the trade setups, the magnets, the traps, the range trades. We have reversal trades. We use these tools to help us to find these setups. We have two more quick things I want to show you. So we have a brand new Magnet 2.0 coming out. Inside our new magnet trade, we are really excited. We have our aftershock reversal squeeze setup. This is a setup that takes place so often after the news that we wanted to create a setup that our members would have handy so they would be getting signals when to take a trade after the news. That's what the ARS setup is going to do. Let me see if I can find one quick chart. Give me a second, folks. Give me half a second. It'll be worth it because I want to show you something. Give me half a second because I think I have it. Here we go. All right. So what happens with our aftershock reversal? Very often, you get a test of a high or you get a test of a low. What is a magnet? Remember what I said before. A magnet is an area on the chart. Lots of orders are placed there because lots of people look at these same levels. Most people use the squeeze, which is an indicator we're including with our ARS setup. Lots of people use it the wrong way, in my opinion, or the slow way. The ARS, the aftershock reversal squeeze, uses it really quickly. A new high gets created or a new low gets created and a signal is created change in momentum. Our software is going to send a buy or a sell signal. Here's another one. We were trading the VWAP. When the VWAP gave a short signal, it chopped up a little bit, but ultimately it did go down. I apologize. It gave a long signal. It went up immediately for a profit there. Then it changed direction. Over here, we got a short signal. This particular signal, it had consolidation for a while. It went back and tested the high, which is very common. We would not exit the trade. But if you waited, it then had a fantastic short signal and a short move to take advantage of the signal. So the aftershock reversal, it's like a magnet trade in reverse. It gives a signal after the news when to get in when momentum is changing. You can trade the way that we trade in prop accounts. You can trade with cash. I've shown you. I just want to remind everybody, we have discretionary trades. We have a variety of different setups. We have specific time-based setups, and we specialize in our time-based trades. You can trade market opens. You can trade the news. You can trade discretionary. In fact, magnet trades are discretionary trades. What's the definition of a discretionary trade? You decide if you want to enter or not. That's the key. That's the difference between a news trade that has an automated entry and a discretionary entry. Magnet trades, I'll show you a quick magnet. They are discretionary. In other words, you enter if you think the opportunity is going to be there. Let me show you a couple of quick magnets because they're great. So often we get excellent opportunities. I love testing the high or testing the low. On the left here, we were trading, looks like natural gas. Our software puts this heavy line on the chart. That's the entry. The order is at the low. The market chops a tiny bit, and then it's going to shoot through the low for a profitable trade. That's a magnet trade. We get pulled to the low. Our software trades to the exit, which is the magnet, the low of the day or the high of the day. Bingo. Look on the right chart. Now we're trading micro oil. Our magnet is the heavy line, is the entry. The exit is the high of the day, the actual magnet. We get filled. Price chops a little bit, very normal. Ultimately, what does it do? Shoots through the magnet for another winning magnet trade. Discretionary because you decide if you want to get in. You decide if the market is trending in a way to help you to trade and win. The keys to helping us to find the best setups are the tools that I showed you, the chart setup, the playback, the ruler, using the pencil. One other webinar that's free that you might want to watch is a webinar on how to set your charts up to trade news trading. It literally takes about 10 minutes to set your charts up exactly like ours, okay? So folks, I don't want to keep you any longer. Just a quick recap. People always ask, how have your earnings been going? Earnings have really been going well. Home Depot, I showed you, is a fantastic earnings trade. I think out of everything that we do, I love the earnings trades the most. I just love it when when the company releases their earnings and the market explodes, and we're not trading the stock, we're trading the futures. I feel like we have an edge on everybody else because we're doing something unique. Home Depot, people made hundreds of dollars on that trade. Last week, people did unbelievably well on McDonald's and Caterpillar. And do our trade signals hold up during holiday season? So Gary, you definitely want to be more careful during the holidays because your volume is lower. So Gary's asking, do your trade signals hold up during the holiday season? Market opens are market opens. They're going to work most of the time. If they're working now, they're going to continue working, usually whether it's a holiday or not. News trades, you want to be more careful. You want to make sure you have volume and liquidity. Magnets are amazing. Magnets are magnets. They don't care if it's a holiday. They don't care if it's not a holiday. Highs and lows, VWAPs are always getting tested. So you don't always have to trade all your breakouts. You could take less trades during the holiday that are breakouts, take more reversals, take more discretionary trap trades, things of that sort. So when the holidays come, we might modify a little bit the amount of breakouts, and we might go more towards magnets and opens and things like that. McDonald's, you could see, was an awesome trade. News came out, McDonald's, another big short. Some companies are not doing that great. Earnings have been fantastic, and it's something that absolutely is worth being a member for. Amazon's a phenomenal earnings trade. I'll make that, I think, the last trade I show you, but Amazon, we love trading Amazon so much. It's been such a successful event for us. Let me show you a recent Amazon, and it really, really moves the market well. And the beauty of Amazon is members constantly making money on it, sending us their trade screens. First, I'll show you the trade. The key is we know when Amazon is coming out. We have studied and studied Amazon's behavior. They're reliable. They're one of the companies we trust to trade their earnings because they release their earnings in a reliable manner that allows us to set up a trade that 8 times out of 10 has been profitable. It's a family money trade. A family money trade is a best of the best trade. That was over $500. And then the same day, we had a spectacular $1,200 Apple trade. Beautiful, beautiful Apple trade. Another short that day. Apple's another company that is very reliable about the time of day that they release their earnings. That's the key. When companies release their earnings in a way that is reliable, meaning the time of day can be expected to be similar every earnings quarter, it allows us to set up a great, reliable trade. So that's why we have these great earnings trades. So look, everybody, we're getting close to the holiday. Here is the deal. We have a very special deal. If you'd like to learn about what we do for a very reasonable price, we're going to put back our 30-day special. It's going to expire in a couple of days. You'll learn about everything that we do. You'll learn about our software. You'll have access to everything that makes up our system, all the elements. Software, our daily market mover trade reports, the reports that we send to our members the day before the trade. For the whole month, we'll be sending them to you before the trade. They can also be downloaded from our website. You'll be a member of our trade room for the whole month. And you'll have full access to all of our software strategies. If you're an InterTrader user, you can install our software and use it all month. Trade in a prop account, we trade in a prop account ourselves, we trade cash, we help our members figure out the best ways to take these trades. Everything that we do is included all month long. Classroom sessions, earnings, family money trades, breakouts, magnets, range, news reports, everything. Go to the website, www.gopro25.com. I'll type it into the chat. Give me 1 second. www. What did I say? GoPro25.com. Join up with us for a month. $20.25. It's ridiculous. We're having these specials for the holidays. We want to get everybody involved so you could all be trading and ready for the new year. Before you know it, it's going to be January, and you're going to want a fantastic trading system for the new year. This deal is going to expire tomorrow at midnight. We'll probably let it go till Saturday at midnight, just so you know. It renews $97 a month. You can cancel anytime. Just send an email to us. 1 or 2 days before it expires. That's the only thing that we ask. Just send us an email before the billing period. I'll give you the email address, $20.25 to join, www.gopro25.com. Our setups are the key. We have great setups for all different types of trading: discretionary, earnings, news, reversals, continuation trades. $20.25 for the month for 30 days. It's ridiculous. My boss constantly yells at me for keeping this trial going, because normally, it's $97 a month, which is too cheap to begin with. Also, for our regular service, we're very, very reasonably priced. We're a great second service. If you have another system that you like trading, you could create a schedule and trade 3 or 4 reports a week with us, or you could trade with us as a full-time member. www.gopro25.com. Absolutely everything is included. I want to thank you all for watching our webinar today. Keep an eye on your email. I'll put this offer in an email to you, and also we're going to have some fantastic things lining up for next week, some great education. So keep an eye on your email for that. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next week. www.gopro25.com. Join us for $25.25 for a month, and I'll see you in the trade room. And actually, I said next week, but if you want and you do it, we can get you started for tomorrow. Take care, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.